Everyone, guess what? It is time for the Jerry Hinkle program. The reason why so many people hate Mondays. This particular Monday is Memorial Day, so there isn't a thing to do. That is, everything's closed. I don't know about the Corn Palace. If the Corn Palace is not closed, I will refer to it in the comments after I get done with the show. And so, what do we got to talk about? It is Memorial Day. Things are closed, like I said. Banks are closed. Post office is closed. Only thing open is my vacation home at the McDonald's, and I think Pizza Hut might be. Well, Pizza Hut's always open. The back door won't be open to me because I'm not working, but the front door will be because I have a platinum card. Platinum card opens a lot of doors in this country. And so back to Memorial Day. Some people think that this is a day when we celebrate those who have served and continue to serve. No, that is Veterans Day you're thinking of. Memorial Day, we honor those who served and gave their last full measure of devotion and paid the supreme sacrifice. Men like Daniel C. Bussey from Hyde County, just down the road from Hollowbird, Highmore, was his parents were Clarence and Lila Bussey. They operated, at that time, they operated Pioneer Garage, and, well, I believe Clarence is gone. Lila might still be alive. Pioneer Garage has gone the way of the Studebaker, and I think Titan Machinery sits where that used to be. Jen Bussey, their son, sells Fords out there somewhere in what they call Jan Bussey Ford, and so that well, that's the background. I don't know that much about Dan Bussey, as they called him, but I would have liked to have known him because, you know, it's been, I believe he was killed in 1965 or so it would be 50 years, and so he would have been in his very late 60s or even his 70s by now. And just think, wife, children, grandchildren he could have had. And he might have taken the Pioneer Garage into heights that Clarence only dreamed of. It did well, the Pioneer Garage did, but, of course, you never know. It's just like with my grandma. I know she always wondered about what Uncle Butch would be doing. It must be hard for people who survive their children. It must be very, especially when they were taken prematurely, like Dan was from Clarence and Lila, because to be killed so violently like he was in the Vietnam conflict. But I talked to Lila about Dan once, and she voiced similar things to what Grandma said about Butch. And but I looked behind, and she did start. Her eyes got a little moist when she talked about Dan. But there was a little bit of pride in her voice as she talked that might not have been there otherwise. There is something, and we can debate about the merits of American involvement in Vietnam for the next 50 years, like we have been since they did 50 years ago. And it won't bring any of those who died back. The only thing we can do is thank God that we had them, and mourn their loss, and just, I don't know, it's a sad thing. And as with any war, we sometimes wonder if the price is too paid. Well, the price is too high, and the price is very high. When I see people in the current conflicts, some have come back wounded, and that's going to be with them for the rest of their life. You know, they're not dead, but the pain is still there. And I watched that American Sniper movie with the Chris Pratt story, and about how he did his thing, and he died off screen. He died helping a fellow veteran, trying to help a fellow veteran who was having the PTSD or whatever they call it, and he ended up getting killed trying to help this fella through it. And so the problem is, we have it's the congressman that another veteran that I can tell you about, Royal C. Johnson, a representative from he was from the Hyde County area, and of course he went off to Congress and served his spell out there in Washington. And when they declared war, I believe it was the First World War that they declared, and he voted for it. First thing he did was resigned, and he joined the army. He said, we sent some of our young men to the war. This was around 1917. He says, I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. And so he went off, and he did. And I don't think he ever came back to Highmore. He retired in Sioux Falls, like all the rich folks do. None of the rich folks retire in Hyde County for some reason. And you know, Holabird is the best place for retirees, or at least it used to be. There, you know, we don't have very many resorts out there, but just wait. Someone's going to see the potential, and I won't be able to invest in that because I've been promoting Holabird for so long that it's hard to. Okay, stop that, because we got to get back to the Memorial Day. So, but yes, that. So we remember those. And this is the first Memorial Day that we can remember my Uncle Don. And he might not have died in the war, but he joined the souls of the 11,000 plus that died in Iwo Jima. And 70 years later, life caught up to Uncle Don. And tomorrow would have been his 99th birthday. So he lived a pretty good life. And we can, but he, I guess in a way, every day is Memorial Day for me, for Uncle Don. But that's our, but basically what I'm trying to say is getting back to Dan Bussey, so that is that it was a terrible sacrifice that he and his family made. And I hope that we never forget the sacrifice that he made, even if it was in vain to give it to the Vietnamese conflict, because that was a hard a hard thing for the Bussey family. I can tell just that one conversation that I had with Lila. It was very, very emotional, and I I almost regret going down that road, but I wanted to hear what she had to say, being a gold star mother and all. And anyhow, wherever Lila is, I hope she's happy, more as happy as one can be, given the circumstances. But and the rest of all y'all, I hope you know that there's someone who thinks about your sacrifice and hopes that hopes to never forget about that, because that's it was only about my uncle Butch. He died in a whole lot different circumstances. He drowned in Germany, and he was doing peacetime exercises out there, and so there was no chance of him getting blown up like there was in Vietnam. And so his death, sad as it was, and he did leave behind a widow and no known children, but it was just as sad, even though it was sad for my family. His loss is in somewhat still, it is still somewhat profoundly felt, even, well, it hasn't quite been 50 years, but 1969, man, it was a little bit, I think my mother was expecting Doug and Daryl at that time. It was May of 1969, something like that. If I'm wrong, which is possible, but I don't think I am. If I'm wrong, I will correct that in the comments as well. So we have the Corn Palace, and whether or not my mother was pregnant, I guess. So I hope I remember all this stuff. So what else we got? Celebration. My parking lot was last week. It was finally completed, a week, or half a week rather, behind schedule, but still, when I saw that they had it all, and the lines painted and the handicapped spaces all done up, and all the paint drying, I was happy as a movie star with a new divorce when I saw that, because finding parking spaces in this town is very hard, because I can't get anyone to park with me. No, I did not mean it like that, or did I? Okay. so we got the parking all figured out. Memorial weekend, my family, my mother's side of the family, used to go camping at different places. Most frequently during my growing up years, we went to a place called Camp Lacotia, which has since changed hands a few times and changed names. I probably wouldn't recognize it if I went out there, and who knows, one of these days I might go out there and see if I can find where Camp Lacotia is or used to be. Last I knew, it was a camp for the deaf or something like that, and so I don't know. I nearly qualify, because I only hear half of everything that people tell me. So I'm getting to be like Granddad that way. It would help if I listened better, I'll admit. I don't think I need a hearing aid. I just need to listen better. I need to pay attention more. That's just me. Programming note, I'm planning on sometime in the future, around the 1st of June, I think, is the first Monday that I'm going to try. We're going to do something new. I'm going to put the Jerry Hinkle program on hiatus, and in its place, I will start filming. I'm going to try to be a little more serious this summer with a program called Mind of the World. It's a salute to my old newspaper, the Freno Cosbian. Freno Cosbian is Greek for Mind of the World, and so Mind of the World TV. We'll look for it in June. I don't think I'll be wearing T-shirts. I'm going to try to do a little more serious. And you know, I almost wore an American flag, but I thought, no, this is a different kind of war, different kind of memorial. And you know, it's a fight, and there are people that are still fighting, and so we got to honor them today as well. And hope they win. And if they won't win on earth, I know Jesus will take hold of them and deliver them through that fire. So what else do we have to talk about? We covered just about everything. My parents are in Branson, Missouri. I said, those of you who read what I have to say on the Facebook, notice that I said my wealthy parents are in a condo in Branson, Missouri. And in a way, I meant that to be funny. But when you think about it, they might not be on they aren't on the Forbes 400 list. They're not even on the 400 list of people in South Dakota, I'm sure. But you know, they are. They worked very hard for the material gain that they have accumulated. My parents have, and they enjoy their retirement, and I don't begrudge them that. I am glad that they were able to do that because they worked very hard, and like most of the people in South Dakota. And I'm glad that they are able to enjoy retirement and do things that they because they're still fairly healthy and active and all that jazz. And it's partially responsible for my father's service in the Army. His VA doctor, you know, there's been a lot of talk about how the VA has done a disservice to our veterans. They have really helped my dad. You would not recognize him. He has lost a lot of weight. He's pretty strong, and he's a real inspiration. It's too bad that I am not in the VA. Maybe they could do something to me. Well, but he's in pretty good shape. He can see. Yeah, he had cataract surgery on his eyes, so he can see better than me. I don't know. It was the last time I saw him. I was impressed with how good he looked and how well obviously he's been feeling. And so so there is good news about the VA as far as that goes. And so, but as far as my parents being wealthy, Claire Huxtable said it best. Wealth, or being rich, is when your money works for you and not when you work for it. You know, and Warren Buffett still works. He's $76 billion in the bank, and he's still working. And I don't know if that's good or bad. That's just his. You know, he could retire, and he could not. And I understand most of his accumulated wealth is going to go to charity. So whatever charity that is, when he assumes room temperature, ka-ching, you know. So it's too bad that none of that will be going into my charity, but that's all right. So I've even our own local billionaire, T. Denny Sanford, has said he wanted to die broke, and I volunteered to help him when I heard that. I haven't heard back. I'm starting to wonder if maybe he doesn't. Well, maybe he wants to live a little longer, and he doesn't want. He doesn't want to go broke quite as quickly as I would help him do. So, and I can respect that. And I want to know one thing about my dad, Warren Buffett, T. Denny Sanford. All three men have more money than I do, and they earned it without any help from me, so they can spend it themselves. I don't begrudge them that at all. And I hope that in the event I should be a few dollars ahead in the future, that all y'all out there show the same respect to me about that. And you know, that's just the way I feel about that. I didn't. At least I don't think I helped him make any of that money. I may have. Who knows? If I'm wrong about that, and you know that I'm wrong, if any of y'all know what I'm saying is wrong, feel free to talk about it in the comments. And then people who take a dim view of me will enjoy watching what you have. If you have something to say bad, if you have something bad to say about me, give the people that don't like me, they might like to hear that. And of course, just remember, it better be true, or I go get you. If I don't get you, my mama will. Cause, you know, I remember one time, who been messing with my baby? Well, that wasn't her. That was crazy Aunt Yanetta. You don't have to worry about her. She's been locked up. And who been messing with my baby? Okay. We're starting to get silly here, so we're going to have to figure out. Oh, before we end with the Memorial Day festivities, I'm going to do a little song. I kind of modified it a little, so I hope all my relatives, all my wealthy relatives out there in Branson, after they get done listening to Roy Clark and Lee Greenwood and all them other fine singers, they come over here and and listen to me, because I have my own version of my cousin Ann's favorite song, God Bless the USA, slightly modified to fit my own situation. If tomorrow all the things were gone I worked for all my life, and I had to start again with no known children and no wife, I'd thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. Not yet, anyhow. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free so far. And I won't forget the men who died and gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up, but not right now, next to you and defend her still today. Maybe later on this afternoon. And there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the hills of Minnesota to the lakes of Tennessee. No, that's not right. It's from the lakes of Minnesota, from the hills of Tennessee. And Phil's going to get me on that. From across the plains of Hollabird, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston, and New York to Alaska Bay. But there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand or sit down and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free so far. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me, and I gladly stand up again, right, maybe sometime this afternoon or tomorrow, next to you, and defend her still sometime later on, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. Oh, that was beautiful. Yeah, or as beautiful as I can do it. Anyhow, um, I've been working on a redoing of that song for when I run for president. It's going to be called "God Help the USA." Yes, so, although it's, it's typical, like most fringe candidates. I want Willie Nelson to be the director of the IRS and things like that. You know, when a guy when that's one of his the planks on his campaign platform, you know that he is a little loopy. Uh, anyhow, so look for the Mind of the World sometime in June. We're still in May, though, so until next time, God be with you. Do the best you can, and get out of my bathroom. You're disturbing my privacy.